I mean, I fully support it. I know a lot of things have to be in place first before they can proceed, and time is of the essence here at planning season, so,
When they need to get cleaned out first.
yeah.
And they're probably going to need some staff equipment to probably do the clean, to haul some of the stuff out, fallen wood and all that stuff, through the agreement and all that stuff. During the daytime, at least to get it cleaned up so that we can do a spring cleaning if it goes through.
I think the
So
point,
I think we're all in favor of the planning and having it straight on, Glenn?
Just real quick comment. Canadian Falls State Park has a master naturalist program. They have about 15, 20 people go through it every year. They have to get tons of volunteer hours. So if you're looking for people to actually do some of this, like the grunt labor, basically planting some of these plants and everything, I guarantee you can probably find about 15 or 20 people that would be willing to do this to get their hours.
Wow, okay.
Contact Mark Spurrier, who is the head of the Canadian Falls State Park, and he can put you in touch with the master naturalist program.
Wonderful.
Yeah, if you could get volunteers to help with the clean out efforts, I mean, that would, staff coming in the spring season, trying to get our parks and ball fields and everything up and running, they're gonna kind of be spread thin,
Sure.
we'll help where we can, but, the more the more volunteers you get, probably the better off with.
And I know these people specifically need volunteer hours.
And I
Well,
know there
just
are
so
two
that
pickup
everybody's
trucks
a-
on the board here, so.
I'm sorry. Just so that everybody's aware, we envision this to be somewhat long-term, so we're planning this in kind of a 3-year, process, and we'll see what we can get done this year. And we'll measure our progress and see what we need to do the following year, and just kind of stay on top of it and set up a schedule that's doable. We understand we have resource constraints, and there's a limit to the amount of people that we can expect to be involved, and, Sandy and I are pretty much committed to trying to make this happen, and any help we can get would be great. But we do want to work within the limits of the people and the resources that we have.
Okay,
Sarah?
fair, thank
that's
you.
fair.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for coming in. Cool idea.
Alrighty, that's all we have on the agenda for this evening, I think.
Columbo, nothing? No final questions?
Now we gotta set the next agenda for April
Too soon.
1st. Which we have one already.
I do. When would you like to see this agreement back on the nature trail garden?
April, I think, would be good, Mr. Sweeney.
Yeah.
Bring your sleeping bag. All right. I have quite a few items for April. As staff's getting ready for the fiscal year 2020 and cleaning up the remainder of fiscal year 19's budget, I have a few items that I need to bring forth. First item is approval of the bid to purchase a replacement for the 1996 dump truck for consideration. The dump truck will actually be purchased in fiscal year 2020. There's a 6-month lead time. Our dump truck is the body cracked, and DOT has now said that we cannot use it to haul anything. Can use to kind of plow, and that's it. So we need to start on the replacement of that. Like I said, it'll be funded out of FY 2020, but I need to get the approval now so we can order it. This item is tentative. Approval of bid to renovate the town pool bathhouse for consideration. This is tentative on the award of the grant funding from POS. For approval of bid to construct a building at the wastewater treatment plant to house vehicles and equipment for consideration. This was included in the FY19 budget under the sewer fund. I have approval of the firm or firms to complete the 2019 MS4 projects for consideration. These were part of the budget transfers that I just brought, I guess, at the last meeting. Approval of the Town Square kiosk and Maryland Visitor Center panel design for consideration. Adoption of the cross-control program for consideration. And then the adoption of the cross-control policy related to fees for consideration. the agreement related to the proposed creation of a nature trail garden for consideration. And I have 2 admin items. These will go quick. Proclamation, April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. And the second proclamation is Arbor Day observance on April 13th, 2019.
Are we doing any plantings?
Are we planting any more trees?
We will be. The date is April 13th.
Mr. Slaughter, I think that we agreed for the Lions Club to purchase 4 trees, 4 or 5 trees, I think, at our board meeting for the planting for the Arbor Day.
I believe we did.
Yes. I think they were $99 or $95 a piece or $100 a piece. So I think that you haven't paid for them yet, correct? Okay. All righty. Well, I'll have to fill one out I think for 5 trees for $100 for the Arbor Day planting, towards the Arbor Day planting like we did, like they had last year.
And that's what I have for the April 1st, 2019 budget. I wanted to go ahead, if it was okay with the board, to set the agenda for the April 15th, 2019 agenda.
You're going to just present it?
Well, I have 2 things, actually. Like I said, we're trying to finish up FY19.
And budget.
For consideration, the approval of the bid to purchase the new town car. And then the second item is the presentation and overview of the fiscal year 2020 budget.
I hope we get a car that we can use our charging station with.
That's the plan. That's what we've been holding out for. We've been waiting.
Brilliant.
The town car is on its last leg, but we're holding out for the chargers.
The silver bullet lives on.
Yeah.
So are we looking at a Tesla or, just saying, miles around the corner?
Yeah.
Will the car go for points for towards the town things?
Towards the
Since it's solar?
sustainable,
Since
the
it's
car.
sustainable, it's electric.
I would think so. There's like a miscellaneous section.
Yeah, that should be considered, and any points we can get.
I know.
Does it rhyme with Daewoo?
Yeah, I know. So that's what I have.
Alrighty, it seems to me like we have 50 things on here, but I'll go through here.
It should be pretty quick. I hope.
Okay, I got is item number 1, I got is bid replacement for the dump truck.
Correct.
Quick, I mean, I see we have 2 meetings, for April 1st and April 15th. Does everything have to be on the 1st?
I guess the second one
I
is the
would
budget.
prefer to, so that we can, I promised you guys it wouldn't be a long second meeting.
Okay,
And then,
okay.
The pool house one is a time sensitive.
Okay, no problem. I was
But
just-
that's, that's up to you guys.
I don't.
Is it possible to get some consideration for I don't know what to call it, the firewood thought in either an administrative business item for for discussion or just input? Like, what I'd be looking for is would there be any movement in identifying parameters for that from town staff? Like, could we hear back from you related to that, or is that something that we would wait for May?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that there's an interest in it, and I know there's a need for it.
I've just touched on the email,
Okay.
and I have a lot of concern about it.
Sure.
But, you guys directed us to do what you'd like, and it's a matter of how long you want to be here.
Well, the last time I did that, I got shut down, so I'm trying to make it more inclusive.
We picked the second meeting in April for
The budget.
the budget only. I would like
No project.
I would like to keep it for that only.
$40,000.
I'm sure a lot of these things are short. Should be able to go right through them.
Your proclamations will be short. Are they coming, though, for the child abuse, to take pictures?
Yeah.
The considerations of the bids, hopefully
Well,
that shouldn't be so long.
Administrative business is first anyways before we get to the regular agenda
Okay.
item.
All
So
right.
that way, they'll get through.
Okay.
You only got 2 proclamations. So what's the other one?
I have 2 proclamations under administrative business, so how do you want to word the other administrative business item?
What, the Arbor Day?
Arbor Day, yeah,
his
dead trees.
trees.
Firewood access for relating to firewood access.
For discussion.
For discussion. Brief. Or even update.
Okay.
Mr. Sweeney, is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. Dissertation.
Okay, number 2 would be, well, that's all administrative, correct?
Correct.
Bid for the bathhouse. That's number 2. Bid for the building for the sewer plant.
Right.
MS4 projects.
Right.
Number 4. Approval of the town. I'm missing one. Kiosk, the kiosk.
Right.
Can that be on the consent agenda? The kiosk?
Shouldn't be. You guys haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay. Number 6 is the cross, the check valves.
Right.
Number 7 is the fees for them.
Right.
And 8 is the nature trail.
Yes.
And we got 9 as our bid for the town car.
That'll be for the April 15th.
Well, that's gonna be for the 15th.
Right.
And so will the budget.
Yes, just those two.
Okay.
Well, I
You
can put the
usually
town-
present them to us first, right? And then we're gonna have the meeting on the 15th.
Right, what we would like to do is present the budget to you and do a brief overview over, kind of give you an idea of the forecast of 2020.
Okay.
And then in May, we'll jump into it line by line and PowerPoint and all that.
Okay. I need a motion to accept the agenda and administrative business as presented.
I'll make a motion to accept the meeting agenda and administrative business as presented for the April 1st and the April 15th meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and second. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
I
Aye.
have a question.
Okay,
Before
one
we vote.
question.
Will the agenda items be a little bit more descriptive?
Yes.
Yes.
And
I kept
they're-
it short.
Oh, that's fine. Just and they're all for consideration, at least on April 1st, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That's
Yes,
it.
they'll be word for word how I presented them.
Yes, but I just shortened it up a little bit. Instead of just having to
Yes.
say the whole thing all over again.
Thank you.
All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Any nays? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. I need a
Number 3.
motion to close the meeting.
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
Second.
Been made. Seconded. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any nays?